Well, let's talk about the show because there's so much going on. I want to start with Joe and Jackson.
Okay.
What was your reaction when you first heard about this storyline?
Well, I first heard about it right before we actually shut down. And then the storyline got tweaked just a little bit to be a COVID sex pod is what I'm calling it.
Yeah.
But I was really shocked, but excited at the same time. First off, I do love working with Jesse Williams. We always have asked for scenes together because we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun between takes together. It's just really, we enjoy it. So I was excited to do the scenes, but I was also excited to see a single Joe this season and to see what she looks like as a woman out there in the world dating.
Sure. Do you think she is still in love with Karev, or part of her will always be?
That's a really interesting question. I think at this point, I don't think she's in love with him anymore. That would be my guess, is that she's not in love with him anymore, but that she was in love with the life they had and the idea of the future they had together. And I think that might be more painful to let go of for her.
Sure.
So I think it's not the person anymore. I think it's what they had.
I mean, with Jackson, she did try to hook up with him initially and it didn't work out. I think because she was kind of trying to figure out what is single Joe like,
yes.
What is like sans Karev.
Yeah, and I think that even if you're not in love with someone, like that first kiss of kissing somebody after you've kissed someone for so long is so strange and jarring. It probably brings up a bunch of stuff. That's what I felt like she was feeling. I think that it was just a lot of feelings at once, and then she was ready.
What do you think it was about that second time? I mean, you said all of a sudden she was ready. Do you think anything shifted emotionally for her? Do you think she gave herself a pep talk in a way?
I think that she wasn't drinking vodka from a bottle, which helped. I think that there was no pressure. I think that she put pressure on herself and there wasn't any. And sometimes and it wasn't a date situation whatsoever. There wasn't like, the Jackson playing Kenny G.
Right.
So I think with that. Exactly. So I think with like the pressure off, she realized in that moment, like, oh, actually I'm ready. And just
both of them said they do not want a relationship. This is just a quarantine hookup. Do you believe that?
Yes and no. I mean, I don't believe it because it's Grey's Anatomy and like, this is what happens. But playing her right now, I believe that she believes it. That's what I think. And right now that is what is happening in our season. But I haven't seen, there's half of the season that I haven't read, so it could change. But right now, yeah.
What would it look like if they were to enter into a relationship?
You know what? I actually think that they would be a really fun couple. I think that they would have that like banter back and forth of sort of making fun of each other, which you will see in the episode we're about to shoot right now. Actually, we're shooting next week. You kind of see that happening between them already. So I think that they would be that like very jokey couple with each other. And hopefully, I also think that because they've had things have already happened between them that are very intimate and vulnerable, I think hopefully that they would be open with talking about their feelings. Sure. Because they already had a conversation that was pretty awkward to have at the door where he was like, I'm not ready. And she explained why, and she said the same thing and explained why too. So yeah.
Would you like it to turn more serious?
I have mixed opinions on it. Wow. Yes, because I love working with Jesse. And yes, because I think Jackson maybe is a good guy, but I also want to see her play the field a little bit.
Do you think she has her eye on any other?
I don't think there is anybody else because it's COVID and there's no options. But I would like to sort of see more of what single Joe is like.
Okay. I was going to ask you, I mean, she was in such a dark place after Karev left, and I feel like last season in general, she was in a pretty dark place.
Yeah.
Do you think now is kind of the start of a new beginning, a new chapter for Joe and like there's light at the end of the tunnel for her?
I definitely do. I definitely do. And it's interesting you say that because I think that it's more, I'm going to be very cryptic about it because I can't spoil anything, but there are a lot of elements of her life that she's sort of reassessing this season and thinking, does this make me happy? Does this not make me happy? What can I do to change it?
Is she questioning her career path?
Maybe. You'll have to watch. I will not say anything else, but there are other things she kind of questions. And I think, you know, during COVID, you have a lot of time to sit and think. I think she has a lot of time to sit and think and sort of really reassess everything.
What are the chances Karev could return?
Can we please not have another ex-husband for Joe show up? This poor girl. I just feel like, how many are there?
I mean, do you think it would help to give her closure though if he did come back for some reason?
I think the reality is for a lot of people is that they don't get that moment where they like are speaking to their ex. So I think it's real to show that sometimes you have to move on without having the sit down conversation. And so I think that she talks about being in therapy. I actually like that she's able to work through it. And it doesn't depend on whether he picks up the phone and calls her and wants to discuss it. I think it's like a very empowering storyline for her.